Hey Mooney family, we are week 1 into the Whole30 and we wanted to share our experience with you guys and tell you guys what we think about it so far. Before we do, hit that subscribe button and remember to ring the bell on our homepage so you don't miss any of our notifications. Basically, week 1, we both have lost weight, which is really cool.
We're down.
How much are you down? Do you know?
Like 5.3 pounds or something like that. So almost about a pound every day and a half on the diet, which is, to me, more significant than any other diet that we've done.
Yeah.
I think if we really tried it, which we're going to start upping our exercise. This is just dieting. So week 1, we just did dieting. We didn't change our habits. We didn't change our workout regimens. We didn't do any of that stuff. So I think once we start implementing the workout, we're going to start seeing increased rates of weight loss, and maybe it may balance out because of the muscle build, but we'll see. Yeah.
Well, and I think we'll also, once we introduce like more exercise, I think we'll start to see more like toning up in like heavier fat areas of our body, like our stomachs and like my thighs and stuff like that. I think we'll start to see them like tone up more. But I mean, we've started a lot of diets in our time together, and some of them
cleanses.
Yeah. And some of them were pretty successful. I mean, we did keto for like a month and a half and then found out I was pregnant, and
then we did pizza.
And then I was hungry all the time. Like, I was always hungry. So we ate a lot. And it was really hard for Chris to stay on keto when I was eating all the time, and it was really hard for me to stick to keto. So that kind of went down the drain. But this one, I really think like we both have really committed to it and have been really conscious about it, and we've even been able to like go out to eat and still stick to our diet.
Yeah.
And still enjoy it.
Like with this diet, you know, at first it was intimidating. It was like you can't have grains, you can't have gluten, you can't have dairy, you can't have legumes, you can't have sugars, and it's like it starts adding up, and in your head you're like, well, what the heck are we gonna have? We're just gonna basically live off vegetables, right? I mean, and to me that was a big issue. Like, I was like, you know, I know like myself in dieting, if it's not something I can easily do or find, I have a hard time with it. But what we found with this Whole30 is that most of the meals consist of probably, I would say on average 2 to 5 ingredients, and they're simple ingredients and they taste amazing. Like, it's literally just so tasty. Like, we made sweet potato pancakes, sweet potato, eggs, vanilla extract, and cinnamon. Like 4 ingredients, and they taste fantastic. They smell like French toast. Now,
the baby loves them.
I'm not going to be like the rest of the internet that says, oh my god, they're the most amazing things in the world. They're not pancakes. They're not they're tasty, delicious, sweet pancakes that you just smother with syrup and butter. So I'm not getting anybody's hopes up. They're not those things at all. I hate when diets do that. It is a little bit more blanding tasting foods, but the chickens that Kymbrye makes, and she can tell you about her chicken meals, those in the slow crock pot have been just the most flavorful things that we've probably tasted in a long time, and it's diet food. It's literally meat. You know, one of the ones that brings to mind is the balsamic chicken vinegar. You know, meat, apples. I've almost said.
The apple cider vinegar.
Oh, the apple cider vinegar. Yeah, I almost said green apples again. But it's it's very, very good.
Yeah. So the apple chicken one that he's talking about, I will actually put links to these recipes below for you guys. I just found them on Pinterest. There's hundreds of options on Pinterest when you look up Whole30 crock pot, Whole30 instant pot, all kinds of things. Like tonight we're gonna try a Whole30 instant pot roast, not roast beef, roast, I guess, pot roast. With like veggies and pot roast, and it even has like a little recipe for gravy, and like all of it is Whole30, all of it is paleo Whole30 standards. We've been very cautious about like condiments and stuff. If we weren't sure about them, we just weren't using them, and so yesterday we kind of went out and got a few things that are Whole30 approved and stick to that those standards. And so Now we have a little bit more condiments we can use, but like spices and fruits and vegetables and meat. And the best part about the crock pot and the Instant Pot meals is it's literally just prep time. Like, you just have to prep it and stick it in there, and it cooks by itself. It does its own thing, and then you get it out, you do a little bit of prep work before you plate it, and then you can eat dinner or lunch or whatever. And the Instant Pot obviously is a little bit quicker, but the crock pot for me was great because I could do it in the morning after I fed her breakfast, and then we would have dinner that night, like, just ready to go. And that was awesome. We even cooked dinner and took it over to some friends who aren't dieting, and they both were like, this is so good. There's no way this is diet food. It's so good.
And we're talking prep time of like 10 minutes, maybe. Like,
yeah.
For most of these meals, it's like chopping up cherry tomatoes, throwing in the crock pot, cubing potatoes, throwing in the crock pot, throwing the meat, the chicken on top of that, putting the chicken broth and whatever, like the cider or whatever she makes all of them. But
yeah.
And then you put the lid on, turn it on. Like, it's not, you know, this whole thing where you got to be weighing out ounces of this and doing this and measuring 4 ounces of chicken with no fat content and measuring, you know, 1 ounce of whatever to make your body get into ketosis or whatever the fancy crap is. It's just simple, plain, clean eating, and that's hands down, I think, why this is so successful for us. It tastes good and it's easy. It's really easy.
And I have to be honest too, we have not been very strict about our portion control so far. We both have just kind of eaten until we felt full. And in the past, like, Chris and I could probably finish a large pizza and then some, but like just on any given night. And so, you know, we really were like, this is gonna be really hard. And the first couple of days we were, you know, portioning off parts for lunch, like leftovers for lunch, and we both would finish our dinner and be like, oh, I'm still hungry. Like, why am I so hungry still? And so we kind of noticed that, like, even without cognitively portion controlling ourselves, giving ourselves a smaller, healthier meal wasn't filling us up the way that, like, carbs and cheese were. And that's part of it though, because we're learning a lot about, like, why Whole30 cuts out dairy and peanuts and all of that stuff. Like, there's reasons behind it all, and it's really interesting. So if you're interested in it, go do some research on Whole30, look into it. But
yeah, and our friends Justice and Asha, they're the ones that put us on this diet, and I'm so happy about it.
Yeah.
One of the things that we found that was just amazing for a snack was Lara bars. So, but like, I typically stray away from the protein bar section or the healthy bar section just because I've never really enjoyed them. They were always kind of just bland, and you know, most have like coconut shavings in them and things like that. But
and he hates coconut.
I hate it. It's stupid plastic fruit or tree nut, whatever it is. It's a tree nut, and I just didn't like them. But we tried these Lara bars, and holy moly, they are amazing. A lemon bar tastes like a lemon bar. Apple pie tastes like apple pie. Pecan pie tastes like pecan pie. And they literally have same concept, 2 to 6 ingredients.
Yeah.
It even says on the package
exactly what the ingredients are.
They are so good. And that's something that helped us out because we snack a little bit more throughout the day instead of eating a massive meal. And what I've noticed that we've been doing too is that she was talking about portion control. We use smaller plates, and I think that's big for us. We've been using our smaller plates. If you have a large plate, you want to fill it. And
well, your eyes are like always more hungry than your stomach. I can definitely tell you, I've been out to like restaurants and stuff and ordered a bigger meal than I could actually eat because it looked so good. Or, you know, like ordered an appetizer. Him and I have gone to Texas Roadhouse and ordered fried pickles for an appetizer, and then both got separate dinners, and then either got like margarita or beer or whatever, and like sometimes even got dessert. And we couldn't finish all of it. Like, we would maybe finish one meal total, and all of that food would either be leftovers or go to waste. And with this, it's really nice because him and I, we went out and shared a plate of food, shared it together, and both felt pretty full after eating just half a plate of food. And we're the annoying people that have to tell waiters, you know, no dairy, no no grains, whatever. But thankfully so far, all the waiters we've dealt with, we've only been out to eat a couple times, but all the waiters we've dealt with have been like super gracious and patient with us and stuff. And you know, if you're in doubt, you can always tell your server, you know, you have a dairy intolerance or whatever. But for me, it just, I have a history in serving, and I would much rather a customer come in and tell me the truth, you know, hey, I'm on a really strict diet, I can't have dairy, I can't have grains. Oh, she blew something?
No, I'm just making sure she's alright, because she's busting a lot.
She untied her shoes, she can't get them off.
Oh.
But I would much rather have a customer like tell me what's going on so that I can do the best that I can to work with them, to give them a good dining experience as a server, because that's definitely something that people take for granted. When they go out to eat, they think they can't eat out very much or they can't eat anything they like. But with Whole30, it's nice because, yeah, there are strict rules, but you can still enjoy a meal. Like Chris said, like everything is super flavorful. Everything we've had so far is something I would have never thought to make. Like the apple cider chicken, I never would have put apples and chicken and apple cider vinegar in a crock pot. And it kind of smells really strong like apple cider vinegar.
Cook it outside.
But yeah, I mean, or like air out your house or burn some candles. But like, it tasted really good and it was really easy. And like Chris and I have always been like, we really love to eat because food tastes good.
That's like, the big thing about the diet for me is like, you know, part of the most, you know, life that I've been doing. I was a sous chef for a few years and cooked and was in the restaurant industry for many other years. And, you know, I enjoy food. I enjoy eating. I enjoy, you know, that's part of life and culture and learning is food. It's such a big social cue, you know, that we live with, you know, going out with friends and eating. And I think that being able to eat things and a successful way of doing it is just preface right away with your waiter. Hey, we're on a diet. This is what we can do. We'll let you know what we can have. And do the kind of research a little bit beforehand, and it really helps out saying, you know, like chilies, chicken, fajitas, we had the fajitas, and we were able to research it a little bit and find out that they use a chipotle butter on the shrimpies, so we just said no chipotle butter. It was pretty easy, you know,
Yeah.
for the most part, so.
Well, and she did, and as a server, or as a previous server, I can tell you right now, if you're straightforward with me, and you don't wait until your food comes out to tell me that you have restrictions, I'm happy to do that. I don't know about every server. I know there are some that have either been doing it a long time or are new or just don't like to do customizations, but most restaurants have dietary menus that can help you with like grain-free meals. Ultimately, if right off the bat you tell your server, hey, I can't have this, this, or this, and my order might be a little finicky, I apologize ahead of time. Maybe consider tipping them a little bit better or whatever, but just be patient with your server and be polite, because that's a huge thing.
Research helps too, because some restaurants, small restaurants, not necessarily chain restaurants, but local restaurants, they'll literally put, you know, no menu substitutions on their menus. You know, I worked at a restaurant here in town, and the owners did that. It was Italian cuisine, and they loved their meals, and they didn't want to change it for anybody, and that's fine. You just have to not go to those restaurants. But that's where being educated and wanting to do it right comes into play, you know. And most part of the thing is for us is like, be happy, do the same things that you want to do, and don't change anything. Just kind of make sure you do a little bit of research and eat according to the diet while you're out. And literally, you don't have to change it. You don't have to be stuck in your house eating a granola bar that's been approved by some dietary scientist. You know, you can be out and about. You can have things that are out in the world. You just have to research it a little bit more and put the work in. That's all, really.
Yeah. Well, and if you're not sure about something when you're grocery shopping, there's so much stuff available online. Like, you can Google Whole30, is this acceptable? And it will tell you. So my whole goal here with Whole30 is to, 1, lose that baby weight, and 2, get back into a mindset of food is for nutrition, and it can be delicious and it can taste really good and have all those things, but basically at the root of it, that's all food is nutrition. It's not comfort. It's not, you know, friendship or whatever. So that's an interesting part of the diet too, that I think is a really big factor for us. So anyways, I mean, week 1, we've noticed weight loss. I've lost almost 5 pounds. Chris has lost just over 5 pounds. The number one thing for weighing yourself, we weigh ourselves every morning. The number one thing, bless you. The number one thing is definitely weigh yourself first thing in the morning. If you put on all your clothes first, consider that and do that repeatedly. Do the same thing, or weigh yourself naked, or weigh yourself in your underwear, whatever. Weigh yourself after you pee, whatever you want to do, but be very consistent about when and how you weigh yourself, because, you know, yeah, Chris noticed today that he weighed himself before he peed, which he normally doesn't do, and when he did pee, he lost like almost
a full pound.
Almost a pound.
Full pound of bladder weight.
Yeah, so just be consistent about weighing yourself. We've noticed that's really a key thing. But for me, it's not really about like getting to an ideal weight. It's really just kind of getting ourselves back on track with healthy eating. We've talked about wanting to be clean about our eating for so long, and we would consistently be like, oh, we'll just eat this Taco Bell or order this pizza, and then like starting next week we'll just do chicken and veggies. Starting next week we'll just do this. And like when we started Whole30, we both kind of waited a while. We learned about it in January when Justice and Asha were in town, and then we decided we weren't going to start it until after Bexley's birthday because we knew we wanted to have cake.
Everybody loves cake.
And we didn't want to throw ourselves off, so we did that, and then we had a couple other things that we decided to wait until after they were over, and so we could really stick to it for 30 whole days. And we set spring break plans, and so our diet literally ends the day before our spring break trip. And so that I think is kind of cool because it's a little bit of a reward at the end of the tunnel to remind us to keep going and be really cautious with ourselves and don't cut ourselves any slack, because we'll probably eat not so healthy over spring break. But ultimately the goal with Whole30 for us is to form these habits and stick to them. Bexley about healthy eating and teach her that, you know, food can be delicious, but it's not a substitute for an emotional reaction, and she shouldn't go to it for like support and love. She should go for it to enjoy the food and to give her body that nutrition.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's definitely hard. It's not easy. We're not here to tell you guys like, oh my gosh, this has been the easiest thing ever. There are times that it's really easy and you don't think about it, but then there's definitely times that like you smell some kind of food. The other day we were shopping for a new couch and they had fresh popcorn and cookies, and we both were like, ugh, I just want popcorn. I just want like one cookie. But we didn't, because we knew, you know, you couldn't have it, but the smells were definitely really hard to overcome.
And a lot of my stuff is like my robotic habits that I had in play. So at my work, I have a Starbucks in the building, and you know, I just got to work and went straight to Starbucks, and I was gonna get my, you know, super duper caramel macchiato, extra caramel, like just sugar pot of caffeine. And like I had to like catch myself. Like it wasn't necessarily that I was craving it. It's just that our routine habits, what we do habitually and we do every day. To me, that's one of my struggles. Is like, you know, milk in my coffee. You know?
Yeah.
We found a great substitute for that, making vanilla lattes with whole fat coconut milk and cinnamon and vanilla extract or vanilla powder. And it's delicious. I mean, it's just the things you gotta find.
But you have to remember too, like Chris said about the pancakes, like we can tell you about this like diet version of a latte, but when you do drink it, it's not a latte. It's not a vanilla latte with like whole cream or whatever. It's just a substitute for that to kind of give you that same feeling. It's a warm, creamy drink that kind of replaces that super sugary version that you want. So it definitely, there's a lot of things that you are almost like giving up because you want to be better. And so that's part of it. Like for me, I would much rather have regular pancakes. I would much rather have a vanilla latte, but we can't, and eventually we'll get back to the point where we can, but we just have to learn about like moderation and portion sizes and really, you know, again, that psychological factor, not just doing it because you can do it or because it's easy to access it, doing it because you actually want it.
Yeah, and that's like, I would think the biggest way to be successful in this is know it's all diet food. Like, even though it tastes great,
It may not meet your expectations.
You're not substituting for the perfect substitution for things that you enjoy and love.
Yeah.
It's just not, I mean, you just can't do that. The reason why you're on a diet is to not do those things. So
yeah,
sitting
it
there
wouldn't be
and
a
saying,
diet if you could still have
if you could have everything you want, it's not a diet. And then I know there's some people out there that probably say, oh, well, I diet on McDonald's, I just have to work out 1,700 times a day. And that's cool if it works for them, but for us that doesn't work. We don't, you know, aren't the best at settling time for gym time. So we needed something that we could enjoy, do, create that mindset, create those new habits, create those new formations that we want to have in our lives. Positive outlook, even though when I'll have a day that I don't lose any weight, I kind of get down on myself, but then I remind myself, okay, listen, like, we're still doing good. We're eating healthy. I've got good things in my body. I've got energy. And so I was getting down on myself, and I had to like coach myself out of that. And that's just something that you may have to do, or you may not have to do. But I lost track. I'm trying to park the car, so I'll get back to parking the car and focusing on driving.
But we're really happy with Whole30. We're really enjoying it so far. Obviously, we miss a lot of the foods and stuff, so I think, again, like spring break, we'll probably eat more, drink more than we should, but ultimately we're really happy, and we wanted to share week 1 with you guys. We will share another video next week, next Wednesday, about week 2, and tell you guys how we're feeling again and update you guys on what we're thinking. If you guys have any recipes you love, share those below. Remember to comment what you like or don't like about a video. Give us a thumbs up if you like it, give us a thumbs down if you don't. Tell your friends and family, hit that subscribe button, and follow us on Instagram. Recipe links will be down below, so make sure you check those out, and we will see you guys soon. We are definitely excited to share with you guys about week 2. Thanks for watching.